Have you ever seen cis-het people reach life goals way quicker than you? This is normal. This is referred to as queer time, which is today's video's topic. Queer time refers to a phenomenon where LGBT people across the board experience time at a different rate. There's different life goals that define adulthood and growing up, so to speak, right? Stuff like graduating, stuff like starting a career, a relationship, getting a house, etc., etc., etc. Having kids, etc. As you can imagine, figuring out you're either transgender or not heterosexual, that can cause a spanner in how quickly you can achieve those arbitrary life goals that we have determined defines adulthood. LGBT rights aren't exactly gold standard, that's no secret, and it was even worse before, lovely audience. So as a result, figuring out you're either transgender or not heterosexual is surprisingly difficult when the society around you itself doesn't want you to come to that conclusion. As a result of that time lost, we have to figure out alternative strategies to be able to keep up with the pack. We're not exactly gonna get a job, get a house, get a partner, get kids as quick as cis-het people, if that's what we wanna do. So, as a result, you can feel a bit left behind. If you're noticing that your cis-het friends around you are reaching life stages a bit quicker than you, that's pretty normal. It'd actually be really impressive if you were equal or past the life goals they're at. If we approach this from a transgender lens, lovely audience, as you can imagine, most of us, if not all of us, haven't been able to live as our preferred gender from the second we exited the womb. That would be quite difficult, now would it? So by default, other people have a bit of a head start. When you're feeling dysphoria or not feeling comfortable in your own body, you're not exactly gonna put yourself out there and reach towards those goals and dreams you have. As you go through your schooling, you might have a tendency to kind of hide away a bit, both physically and emotionally. So the cis kids around you are going to be experiencing stuff that you don't get to because you don't feel comfortable experiencing it. It's a super unfair disadvantage, lovely audience, but understanding it can help reframe and give us a sense of perspective to make things a bit easier. For example, in high school, I did get a relationship straight away, a cis-het one, and then I figured out I was a girl. So that relationship kind of crumbled, lovely audience. But if I was somehow, a totally cisgendered man, that relationship would have probably persisted longer. It would have led to formative experiences that would have helped me grow as a person. Even outside of something like dating, whenever there was school formals, I didn't really make the most of it because I felt dysphoric and kind of hid in the corner. Nowadays, I love dancing and being out there. I didn't do that before because I didn't feel comfortable in my body. But as a result, I didn't expose myself to dancing as early as I'd like to. I would have loved to have done dance classes in high school. As a result, that's a part of life that was kind of blocked off from me. If I were to pursue that now, that'd be a little difficult. Not impossible, but way harder. How are we meant to determine our futures if the clothes we wear for some reason is making us feel depressed and we don't know why? For whatever reason, society determines dating as a significant rite of passage of adulthood. Now, that obviously ignores the fact that asexuals exist, aromantic people exist, etc. And also, you don't have to do a relationship straight away to become an adult. But society has determined that is a criteria of adulthood, right? There's even cis women that will put off marriage and that kind of thing, or maybe not even do it because they want to focus on their dreams or their careers because of the social structure around us, right? So understand that it's viewed as a significant step to adulthood, but it's not essential. But if you are wanting to go for that as a trans person, I don't have to be the one to tell you this, lovely audience, but dating's kind of hard. You also got to approach how sexuality interacts with your gender throughout your transition and the people you meet, right? For example, being a straight trans woman, a lesbian trans woman, a bisexual trans woman, an asexual trans woman. It interacts in all sorts of ways, and that can give you a bit of a slow start compared to a cis-het guy in high school that found a girl that looked kind of hot. It's pretty easy to feel like we're slightly behind in life when every time you open Facebook, Instagram, etc., you see all your friends getting married. I've seen that a few times, lovely audience. I'm nowhere near getting married because I haven't met my wonderful partner of the future. And that's fine. However, as I can imagine, me being transgender has likely slowed down that happening. And that's fine. As LGBTQ+ people, we're used to not meeting the expectations of society at large. As an example, imagine a stereotypical popular guy in a movie that cares a lot about his self-image.
Well, the prom's tomorrow, gotta get a girlfriend.
Cis-het people will likely feel more inclined to compromise aspects of themselves in order to be agreeable to the society around them. Not every cis person does this, obviously, but plenty do, so it's worth keeping in mind. I think it's more common with heterosexual relationships to push yourself into it even if there's red flags or stuff not working out, because it's working okay, I guess. It's kind of harder for LGBT people to even get relationships, so as a result, we're a bit pickier. Also, we can sort out some of the red flags pretty quick because plenty of people won't date us at all. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes it a bit easier to find the perfect partner. It just takes time. Another thing to consider with this whole thing is that you might notice one of those life stages involves owning a house and starting a family. As you might be aware, doing that is pretty difficult. I can't do that. Heck, the average age of people moving out of their families' homes is getting older and older and older. So even for cis people, they might feel they're getting left behind a little bit because older generations got to do what they want to do a bit quicker. And don't let a boomer tell you that you just need to work hard and stop buying Labubu's on Friday. Simply put, houses are stupidly expensive and very unobtainable to own. As trans people, we can feel a bit stuck to the past, or it's in our mind a lot. A lot of things we didn't get to do loop around our mind constantly. Not getting to wear a nice dress to the school formal, not getting to wear a school uniform, that kind of deal. As trans people, we can feel a bit stuck in the past, so to speak. We think a lot about those things we didn't get to do, rather than what we can do now, right? Experiences like getting to wear a dress to the school formal or wearing a school uniform with a skirt. You know, those kind of things hang in my mind a lot. And like a lot of trans people, I've done various things to reclaim that. You're literally witnessing one of those things. There's little things we do to reclaim that past, and I think that's a really important part of early transition. Trying to find like a party to wear a dress, or trying to find an excuse to wear something cute, or try to find an excuse to experience those gender euphoric experiences. For example, I did try dancing classes to reclaim that. I did buy a bunch of girly games that I didn't get to play as a kid, that kind of thing. These arbitrary paths that cis people have crafted to determine how we're meant to progress in life is restrictive. You're an individual, you get to do what you want. And you don't have to worry about what's gonna happen in like, what, 10, 20 years, that kind of thing. You can worry about what's happening right now. What can you do right now to feel happier? What can you do to feel more you? You know? A huge significant portion of the people that watch this channel aren't even 18 yet. There's a lot of things that you might be confused about, or a lot of things in the future you're not sure about. And that's fine. If you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, that's fine. There's people watching this very video in their 20s, 30s, 40s that don't know yet. There's aspects of my future that I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna live in the future. I don't know like how this career will go. I mean, I'll be real with you, lovely audience. The modern day content creator probably won't persist forever. I'll have to figure out something else in like a couple of years, a decade from now, something like that. But I try not to worry about it right now. I just try my best to enjoy right now. Right now, I'm doing a job that I like, a very privileged job that I want to make sure I can do as long as possible. And when that gravy train finishes, I'll find alternatives and move forward. We got to do our best not to be stuck in the past. As, well, it can be a bit of a thief of joy, right? If you're worried about what isn't the same these days, or things that aren't what you wanted it to be, there's going to be a version of you in the future that's going to look back on the person you are right now and feel those same types of regrets. Imagine right now that you are you 10 years into the future. What kind of things do you think that version of you would wish that the version you are right now is doing? Because eventually in 10 years, you will be that person. And it's hard to know what that version of yourself would want from you. But if you try your best to do what makes you happy, then you won't have regrets. We live in a very complicated world, lovely audience, with lots of moving parts that we can't fully understand. There's things in the past you might think were better then. There might be moments where you imagine yourself in an idealized version in that era in the past. There's things about the early 2000s that I think are better than right now. But a lot of that's nostalgia. It can be really silly things. I don't like streaming services. I just prefer DVDs, but they don't really make them as much. But we've got to do our best to find the positives of the future and move forward. But still bring those things you love from the past with you. There's a balance. If there's a nostalgic movie or a toy that you had growing up, hold on to it. You don't have to reach an image of maturity. It's okay to like kiddish things that doesn't compromise your ability to be a functioning adult. How adulthood is defined is arbitrary. You can be a super successful adult with a really successful career, and then when you go home, watch some SpongeBob. That's fine. Sure, there's going to be plenty of cis-het people that are going to reach these life goals and paths quicker and easier than you will. There's a lot of people you'll find that will reach goals quicker and easier than you. There's a lot of unfairness to it. The best thing we can do is when we transition or find out who we are, pick up those pieces and just make a nice puzzle out of it. It'll be a tough puzzle. It'll take a couple of attempts. It might sit there unfinished in your living room for a couple of years, but when it's done, it's going to be pretty cool. Even if you figured out you're trans later in life, that's fine. Even if you're younger or older than me, you can still start your journey now. That's fine. Other people will feel like they're light years ahead. But if you never take that first step, in 10 years, you'll be in the same spot you started in. So let's just do our best. If you like this video, please hit the funny like button, subscribe button, comment something really friendly, and I'll see you next week because we post a video every week. Until then though, as always, stay hydrated and know that you are valid. I'll see you next week. Good luck on your journey. It'll be amazing.